Hi, Reality Check. I'm Brian Posehn from TV.
And now you have a book here, so talk about the book.
I wrote a comic book. It's called The Last Christmas. I wrote it with my friend Jerry Duggan. It's about Santa Claus after the apocalypse. Him fighting zombies and saving a little kid. So
that's cool. That's a great idea. Who put it out for you?
we did it through Image, where so it's creator-owned. So we put up our own money and paid our friend to draw it for us, and now it's out, which is a big nerd dream of mine. You know, I grew up loving comic books and coming to Comic-Cons and, got into comedy first and just sort of did this for fun, really.
What was the genesis of the idea?
Marijuana.
Awesome. Tell us about some other stuff you're working on. I keep seeing you on different TV shows, doing your stand-up routine and so forth.
I'm doing more Sarah Silverman's. I'm on that right now on Comedy Central.
That's where I saw you. That's right, Sarah Silverman. I love that show. It's classic. Are you doing any more comedy stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm always performing.
Yeah. I have to see. I've only seen you a couple of bits on like Comedy Central and so forth, but one of these days I got to get to one of your actual.
Well, there's a Comedians of Comedy DVD that you can get on Amazon right now of me and Patton Oswalt, the documentary we did.
Nice. Nice.
And then my stand-up CDs available everywhere called Nerd Rage. So plug.
Absolutely. It's all about shameless self-promotion here on Reality Check TV. So also, I mean, obviously, not only you're a comic book geek, but I know that you're a big metalhead. You were at the Rock Honors thing, and you did a bit for that. What was that like, being at that?
That was a lot of fun, getting to see Kiss. And, I don't like the 80s Def Leppard, but I loved the really early Def Leppard. Like when they were 16-year-old kids, I thought On Through the Night and High and Dry are classics. So to get to meet those guys is pretty cool. And Vivian Campbell from Dio, one of my favorite guitar players ever. Like he was like, after Randy Rhoads died, he was my next Randy Rhoads. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I just lost my hero, but then I found I found Vivian, and
who seems like a very nice guy.
Oh, the coolest. I was like nerding out. Like I was, like my leg was shaking when I'm meeting him because, just all the, I never played guitar as a kid, but I would still do air guitar too.
Totally.
And in my room when I was like 16.
He's been in so many great bands. He's done a lot of good stuff, and so that must have been fun. And
to meet all those guys.
And then Queen is there, and Queen, and definitely, and Priest. And of course, Rob Halford is a prince among men, a very cool guy, and the standard bearer for metal, of course.
Right. Yes.
So that must have been a lot of fun. And how did you get asked to do that bit? I know I've seen you on VH1 a few times.
Well, they just know that I'm a real metalhead, and they were looking for people. Like they got Jamie Presley to host it because she's a rocker chick, and they got
hot.
Yeah, smoking hot. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
I could, if I was shaking talking to Vivian Campbell, I could barely even talk to Jamie Presley in person.
I love it. So that was a fun bit, and that was a great show. I mean, a lot of fun. We weren't there shooting anything, but just to be there and check that stuff out, because I haven't seen Def Leppard or Queen up until that point. So that was a lot of fun. And then I noticed you're at the NAMM show. I didn't get a chance to talk to you there, but I'm sure you were geeking out.
Hanging out, yeah. Scott Ian's a good friend of mine, and he's in my band, my little, I call it a side band, but side would mean that I had a regular band. Right. So no, this is just like
thing you do.
I do for fun. I did 2 songs on my last record, and this thing called Metal by Numbers. It was on YouTube, pretty big, got a lot of hits, but it's just me making fun of heavy metal, and Scott's like the master. So
yeah, he's always up for a good time. That guy, he's
a friend who's written like these amazing riffs. It's pretty cool. Like a lot of other comics, if they were going to start a band for fun, they would just get their friends that dick around on the guitar. But I've got
the
like
real deal.
Who's a guitar god who I can just call and go, dude, you want to write some stupid riffs for my record? And cool. All right.
Nice. Yes, and since I know you're a big metalhead, I know you're friends of ours, the guys in Death Angel, who you're going to be hanging out with.
Yeah. Big Death Angel fan from way back in the day. Big band.
Should have seen him yesterday. He was wearing the Death Angel Ultraviolence album cover shirt, which I actually have one of those myself. Great record. Yeah, it's good to see those guys back in action, too.
Yeah. I know they're recording new stuff, and I can't wait to hear it. I mean, they're definitely one of my, not favorite, just thrash bands, one of my favorite bands.
Because you grew up in this area.
Yeah, I'm from Sonoma, so we had to drive to come find thrash metal. There wasn't a thrash scene in Sonoma, but
probably not. Huh?
It was 40 minutes away. It was pretty cool to grow up and know that there were great shows in Oakland, and we'd be saving up our money and mowing lawns to head down to San Francisco and go to the Stone, and
Stone, yes. We did a lot of stuff at the Stone.
Dude, I saw Accept at the Kabuki like in '83, and yeah.
What was your very first metal show?
First band I ever saw was Y&T.
Y&T.
So,
Yeah, nice.
Hard rock for sure. Yeah.
And then what about metal?
I don't know how metal they are, but
hard rock, I call
yeah, there was some good stuff. But anyway, first metal show. God, must have been. Well, like Priest and Maiden and that stuff.
Right.
And then I went heavier when the heavier stuff kind of started coming out. But saw Raven and Metallica. On tour.
Nice.
Saw Laws Rocket a lot back in the day.
Friends of ours.
Just all that stuff.
Yeah, very cool. So, yeah, you're way into it. And now you've built it into a career. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Comic books and metal and comedy. It's a beautiful thing. So cool. So we'll have to look for you more on the Sarah Silverman show. I love that show. It's a fun show. And she's a crack up. I mean, she's really hot looking but has this really, like, deadpan sense of humor.
Funny, pretty girl, which there aren't a lot of those.
True that, True that. So, and anything else that you want to plug before we go?
That's it, man. Got to sell some books.
Wonderful to finally make your acquaintance, sir. Take care.